If we could have a roll call.
Lively,
Here.
Ford,
Here.
Van Zant,
Here.
Hopper,
Here.
Webb.
Here. Okay. Moving on to the consent agenda. Does anybody want anything pulled out of the consent agenda?
I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I would like to second that motion. If we could call for a vote at this time, please.
Lively,
Here.
Ford.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Van
Yes.
Zant,
Here and yes too.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to, is there any further discussion or remarks from the audience? Does not appear so. Moving on to item number 15, the financial report.
Okay, let's go over the financial summary for February. Our average daily census for February was 10.98, so it's up 1 day from January and up 1 day from the 2024 monthly average. The acute payer mix for February is 72% for Medicare and Medicare Advantage care. The 2024 monthly average was 77%. The swing bed payer mix for February was 82% for Medicare and 18% for Medicare Advantage care. Operating loss is $72,000, which is down $21,000 from the 2024 monthly average. Net patient revenue was at $1.3 million for the month. That's a decrease of $57,000 from the 2024 monthly average. 340B was at $18,000 for February. Operating expenses were at $1.4 million, which is down $9,000 from the 2024 monthly average. Patient days for February were at 293, that's down 62 days from January. Cash receipts for the month were a little over 1.18 million, which is an increase of 40,000 from the 2024 monthly average. Cash disbursements were at 1.2 million. Cash balance at the February month end was 481,000. That gives us about 10.5 days of cash on hand. The 2024 average being 8.7, so we have about 2 more days this month than the average from last year. For the clinic, the February average visits per day were 8.76. Year-to-date revenue for the clinic is 61,000. Year-to-date operating expenses are 154,000, resulting in a year-to-date net loss of 93,000 for the month of February. You guys have any questions?
No questions from me?
None for me. Moving on to item number 16, discussion possible action to approve the vehicle lease between Cohesive MedRide LLC and MRMC to provide a van to be used for the Strong Minds program and transport services.
Okay, so they did do some changes to this contract. I just saw that I put the wrong summary sheet in here. The monthly cost is $500. The big change on the contract was they went in and they classified, again, they're responsible for any major repairs that weren't caused by our negligence at the facility. But if the engine blows up, transmission, anything like that, it's at Cohesive cost. But they also put the stipulation in, which we all discussed, was we're responsible for tires, oil changes, small regular maintenance that we do on our regular vehicles. And then as for, we brought up bringing a separate vehicle if ours ends up with a major repair. What we've done at Cohesive is put a clause in there that said, we're not gonna get a vehicle, but if it's down for a long period of time, they will abate that monthly payment. We won't have to pay it. We won't have another van per se for that, at that time. Because they don't want to, if they're running short on vans, say that, and then they can't provide the service to us. So That's the changes
Where's,
that they
yeah,
had.
where's that change specifically?
That's paragraph 7I, I believe.
Yeah.
7I?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I know you can't prepare for every
Mhm.
what if and what, you know, all these contingencies, but what if your Strong Minds program is going and, you know, you have all the patients and you're at capacity and this van breaks and it's down for 2 months? What happens to your program when it doesn't get replaced and they have no transportation?
We would have to put the program on hold and then restart it if Cohesive did not have another van for us. They just didn't want to put themselves into a corner that said, hey, they're going to supply us one and they don't have one for us.
So if they had one, they would supply it, but this is, if they don't have one, then you're just out of luck.
Yep, we'd have to postpone the program until the van got back in service, correct?
Is there a way that we could pre-approve something to like, hey, God forbid the van goes down and we need to rent a vehicle? Is there a way for us to pre-approve that?
And you know what, now that you say, I did not look over our Progressive quote that's on here also for the insurance, for the van to see if it covers, because it might cover a rental van. The Progressive insurance quote, let me look at that real quick, because I did not.
Probably is
Typically,
only
if you-
covers
yeah,
if there's
if
a
you-
car
yeah.
accident.
Yeah, you got a point there.
While you're looking at that, the abatement, at
Mhm.
what point does that start? Because I noticed that it's for a 30-day period. Does it have to be out of commission 30 days, or does it start at day 5? What determines a long-term?
Robin, you're on the phone, could you answer that?
Monthly.
Sure. I think from the cohesive standpoint, we definitely try every avenue that we could to provide a loaner van to you. We did not discuss length of time, but we know how important the program is, and we know how important getting therapy to those patients would be. So I think in just our good conscience, we would try everything we could to help support you and provide a loaner vehicle.
But with regards to the contract, because that's what's in writing in front of us, at what point does it fall within this provision versus not? For example, maybe we get a fender bender and it
Yeah.
goes in, and we think it's a couple of days, ends up taking four weeks.
Yes.
Well, I'm just telling you how I read that clause. It specifically states, for any period of time, the rent will be abated. The abated amount shall be the current monthly rent prorated on a 30-day period. I don't think that, how I read that, it's a day for day
So
based
it
off of the
could-
30, like, if it's 3 days, it's gonna be prorated based on 30
Right.
days. That way you don't have to take account for 28 or.
Right.
So if it's, how I read that, if it's down 5 days,
Then
then it's prorated 5
5
days.
Okay.
Based, so whatever the rent is divided by 30.
Or if they're able to provide a vehicle, then
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I read it.
And that is correct. That was our intention for the contract, that it would be prorated.
Yeah.
I just think it's, instead of looking at what month it's unavailable, you just take the monthly rent divided by 30 and then apply that for each day it was unavailable for the prorated amount.
Okay, before we move on,
Mhm.
explain a little bit more with E. And I know that's where the tires and all that fall under,
Uh-huh.
but responsible for necessary service, what are we talking about? I mean, I
Oil
know
changes.
oil changes,
Yeah.
but that's not,
Oil changes, windshield wipers, if the brakes need brakes replaced, wear items, essentially, just wear items.
okay, are we getting it with the tires in check and everything, or what are we doing?
They
I
got
mean-
the worst set of tires they could find.
I haven't laid
Better not
eyes on the
do that.
vehicle.
Somebody
I've
on
seen a
that.
picture of the vehicle, but I haven't laid eyes on the vehicle to
Well, you
say
better
that
use the
tire.
penny and see if the head's still up, so we know where we're at. I'm serious,
I
because
don't,
they're
yeah, I understand.
expensive.
They're about, and that's what we talked about. They're right around $1,000 round trip for a new vehicle now. And
Yeah.
Cohesive and we did talk about that because that's why they put that in there. Because they didn't want to get here and we put 20,000 miles on the van and then the facility say, we need new tires. It's Cohesive's
Oh,
responsibility.
yeah.
So they're not gonna send us a
We're not
van.
gonna be that nitpicky, okay,
They're not gonna send us a van that needs new tires.
gotcha.
Yeah, again, these were all in
All
service
fixed.
and have been taken out of
And
service.
you're not gonna hire a driver that's gonna be spending them somewhere and?
Currently, the driver that's listed on the insurance is me because we have not hired a tech. So you're
Okay.
looking at us at the facility currently right now.
No donuts in the parking
No
lot.
donuts in the parking lot,
Just
no
when the
sir.
helicopter's trying to land. Any other time. it's
Not,
Well, I
no,
mean, he could do donuts in the parking lot, just we would have to pay for it.
exactly. We'll do it in your car, so you can pay for it.
That's fine. I'm cool with that. We'll do burnouts too. Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve.
I'll second the motion.
If we could call for a vote at this time.
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
I'm here and yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to item number 17, discussion and possible action to approve Progressive Commercial Auto Insurance for MedRide Van to provide transportation for Strong Minds program.
And that's your 12-month premium, $25.19. If we pay in full, it's $2,000 for the year. This is the only, we did ask the agent to reach out to other companies instead of Progressive to give y'all several to choose from. Adrian brought that up, and this was the only company that would give us a quote based on new business is what they said. It's what the agent said. Based on being a new business and it's being used for a business, they didn't want to do it. I don't know. Oh, and the fires, yeah, that's kind of weird. Fires weren't from the cars. But that's,
What?
yeah, they said the fires were a big deal with it, with insurances right now. I don't know, just what
The
the,
local-
I've had cars for
People
over
said
30
that?
years, not one of them is caught on fire.
well, he referenced he referenced the fires like in the state.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking.
We were like, what does that got to do with the car
That's your
insurance?
property and house
Yeah,
insurance.
that's,
I
again,
don't
we
know, I think
asked,
that's ridiculous.
but
And
that's.
this is a 12-month policy.
This is a 12-month policy, but we could pay monthly and then cancel if we wanted to.
So
do
what are
that.
they saying? Like fire is not covered on the
I-
car?
No,
No, they're
they
saying
said
that the
that's,
fire
They're
has
saying
increased
the overall
the
rate
insurable
for the
risk
state has gone up because
Because
of
of-
fires.
because of the
Maybe because
natural
the smoke in
disasters.
the road.
The insurance company shareholders aren't gonna make enough money this
Right.
quarter.
Well, I would
So they
imagine.
have to
Turned
lead
down
you for a
because
few
no
more.
fire insurance. And then the other one was Mercury. They said due to the moratorium on writing or quoting new business due to wildfires in Oklahoma this week, while they declared.
Do we not have any other vehicles covered?
Not at the facility, no.
In our intent is to pay the full and get the discount.
That's up to y'all, sir.
That would be my recommendation.
That's y'all's decision.
This may sound like a dumb question, but the only concern I have is we're trying to buy a vehicle.
Well, yeah, we're gonna
So
get a
will
vehicle.
this,
But couldn't this be converted back?
It could,
that's
a
what I'm
different vehicle?
asking. Is like,
According to
I know
the
we're
email.
doing this vehicle, but I don't wanna buy a new vehicle and then they like, oh, sorry, your rate's tripled
Well-
because the vehicle changed.
It probably will, because it'll be a lot bigger. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
lot
and
bigger
it'll be
van.
newer.
And it'll be a 13-passenger van compared to a caravan.
But whatever premium we pay,
It will go towards the.
go towards the other.
Should.
It's sort of like buying a new car. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you just.
But
pay
yes,
the
we would have
difference.
to get a new quote for the new van. Now, we'd be able to get more vendors, because guess what? We had already had insurance on a vehicle.
And if we were to cancel, we could still be refunded.
Yep, prorated
Whatever.
refund.
Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense to pay it by month. Pay an
Again,
extra.
that's y'all's call. We'll do whatever
$427.
y'all want us to do. But like you said, you're getting a $427 discount if you pay it in full.
I'm just gonna ask the question, is $1 million enough coverage?
That's
we
the,
have-
that's the minimum that MediRide has on their transport vans.
But that's what Meeting Right has, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Are there any rules about how far they travel to pick up a patient?
Maximum 60 miles round trip. So 30 there, 30 back. Yep. Just for time constraints.
Yeah.
Just for time
Crow
constraints.
flies or highway mileage?
I know, right?
That's a huge difference.
That is a massive difference.
So back on the $1 million with regards to that, so in the event, it's, we have a full
Mhm.
ride and something, I mean,
I know.
bad happens, would our insurance through the hospital cover the rest of the,
Since it's for, that would be, again, a question, she's not on the call to ask for that. That's
Because
because
a
I don't-
million seems low when determining the number, well, it does. I'm just telling you.
Not
I,
for
no,
us.
that's what
It
I,
doesn't take too long for us.
I mean, if you've got multiple people in there and we have bad injuries.
Truthfully, this, you could probably in this van fit 2 or 3 people plus the employee, probably 2 people plus an
Wow.
employee. So you're looking at 3 people in a van compared to, now the
333
bigger
piece.
van, yeah, we will have to have a quite larger premium.
okay.
Because it could have up to 12 people in it.
I would still want to know if, I mean, we don't have to for this, but I would like to know if the hospital's insurance
I would have,
cover-
we would have to ask. We'd have to ask if the malpractice or the CNA that we pay, if that would. I could not answer that right now. I know the workman's comp would cover us because we were at work working. I just, because we're on the clock as we're driving the van. I
Yeah,
just
it would-
don't know the
yeah, it
rest.
would
Right.
Be the liability.
Yeah.
What's the deductible? I don't remember seeing that.
Did not see that as well.
And maybe I just missed it, but I went through this again and didn't
I
see
didn't
it.
see it either.
I did not. Roadside deductible.
Oh, it's not on it.
Comp deductible, it looks like 1,000. It's on page 3 of 3 of item 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's how this.
Where
comp
at?
The very last page
Physical
of the
damage
quote.
premium, comp deductible.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
thought
you're
I was-
okay.
I
I
missed
thought I
it
was
too,
on the
buddy.
last page and I wasn't.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
missed it too, so.
And it looks like you have the rental.
Mhm. But that's if we have a wreck, so.
Right, that's what I'm saying. though.
Yep,
It's
not
always-
if, yep, not if it goes down.
So then my question is do we really want to keep that part? If
The rental?
we're already, if they're going to provide us another vehicle or
We can-
prorate us, do we want to keep the rental?
But
I would
again,
say
according to the
yes.
contract, it says for repairs not caused by general wear and tear. That driving would be, we have a collision, that's due to us, that's not due to the vehicle breaking down.
And my issue is we've been trying since like 2019 to get this program off the
Completely agree. I've been trying
ground.
since
And
2023.
so I don't think we should create a gap where we'd have to start this program and then shut it down.
Oh, yeah, I think that would be a huge mistake.
That
do
that could be a
too.
disaster.
I
That would
think-
have a huge impact
Massive.
So I-
on restarting that program.
So I think getting rental coverage in the event, we're gonna go 60, 90,
Funeral
100
home
days.
has a
without-
van.
They may look down on having a stretcher in the back.
Hey, then we can transport the patients that
Shortest
can't walk.
distance between 2 points is a straight line.
I'd make a motion to approve with the caveat that we paid the premium in full.
I'll second that.
We could call for a vote at this time?
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Let's move on to item number 18, discussion possible action to approve Port 53 Technologies for a quote for a new firewall hardware, Mirakai MX Cloud MX 75 advanced software.
So this is hardware and software quote. So the total comes out to $4,638. My question to IT was, what happens if we don't get this and we maintain our old firewall? Because it gets sunsetted in June, May, June. He goes, they turn it off. He goes, it doesn't work anymore, essentially. And I'm like, what? He goes, it does not work. So if we don't have this, we're a very large cyber vulnerability. All of our tunnels go through our firewall that go to OU, to Cohesive, to Adrian that logs in through to CPSI. All of our interfaces between our radiology department lab comes through the firewall. Even our internet has to come through the firewall. And if we've dealt with Port 53 before, that's why we just went with them, because they have this Meraki firewall that's really good. They can log in, and this software will give them remote access to be able to see what's going on with the firewall if we do happen to have an issue.
Who turns it off?
Meraki.
No,
End of life,
No, yeah, the end of life.
the end of life, Meraki has a program running in the background of the firewall, and when it hits that end of life, they turn it off, and then it's open. It's an open firewall at that point. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm not IT at all, and I'm like, really? He was like, yeah, you're completely vulnerable as soon as that end of life day hits.
So basically, you pay for that program for a certain period of time.
This one will
If
be
you don't-
36 months. And then in 36 months, we'll have to buy a new one again.
That's how they make money.
Yep, it is.
They
Gotta have it.
guarantee no,
Hmm?
they guarantee no,
That's what I said. Well, when we get to the cyber stuff, that's what I said. You
Uh-huh.
guaranteeing all this? It does filter a whole lot. It really does. When we've had some issues with the facility, with the internet, our IT guys and the firewall people can log in and look at what's coming through, the traffic that's going through the firewall, if it's letting enough in, not letting enough in. Currently, I mean, this, again, IT told me a little bit more than I need to know, because they're like, our internet is 1 gigabyte at a second. Our current firewall only allows in 500, megabytes is right underneath the gigabyte. So we're not even running at full capacity of internet because the firewall doesn't allow it through.
Would this allow to?
This will allow the full.
And did we get quotes from anyone else, or is this just?
Just through them, because that's who we've had before. That's the only reason. And all of our facilities use Port 53.
I'm gonna ask,
Uh-huh.
are they anyhow or some?
No, sir, they are not not connected with Cohesive whatsoever.
Meraki's not, I know that.
Yeah, Meraki is not connected with Cohesive at all.
And is there?
What about Cisco?
No, Cisco is not connected either. But Cisco is connected with Meraki and these guys, yes.
Easy.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
Okay, would you call for a vote at this time?
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
yes.
Van Zant,
Yes?
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item number 19, discussion possible action to approve BD Plexus profile upgrade for the Midistan ES quote for automated medication dispensing unit in the ER.
Okay, so when we purchased, we didn't know, they missed it, didn't tell us. Our pharmacy person at Alex missed it also on the quote. So when they initially quoted all of our stuff, they did the patient profile for med surge. They left it off for ER. So currently the process is, provider puts an order in, that order does not cross over to Pyxis. That comes, of course, over to CPSI. We can scan the med in, but when you go to Pyxis to type in the med, you literally got to override because the order does not exist in Pyxis. So to get that software to where it will talk to one another, and the Pyxis goes through to CPSI, CPSI goes through Pyxis, it's $123 a month for the 84 months, the life of the agreement that we have with Pyxis for our lease on the Pyxis machine. We're already paying, we're fighting with them because we're trying to get all the taxes. We still haven't got the taxes removed yet. They put a lot of taxes on the machine, and we're trying to get all that removed from, we were looking at $3,600 plus $144 for the Dell server, and then this would be another $123. So we'd be right at $4,000 monthly payment for the equipment that we have.
Do you remember what it was initially when we said yes to this?
It was $3,650 for before all the taxes. Now, again, they've been putting taxes on there. We're fighting with them to get that taken off.
Was this our error, or did they just not
Both.
divulge?
They did not put it on there, and we did not catch it, so it's both. They didn't know we wanted it, so they didn't put it on there, and we missed it.
That
So,
seems like a pretty poor excuse.
Yeah.
If they know you're running a floor and an ER, to say we didn't know you wanted the
Yeah.
same capabilities in the ER.
As you
you're
would the floor.
likely
I
to
guess they
make
have
more
some
errors
facilities
on a
that
patient.
don't, which blows my mind.
you're more likely to make an error in the ER, trying to
Completely
give
agree.
meds quickly
Completely
and not
agree.
doing all of your checks than you are on the floor.
I-
So that's a little bit ridiculous.
Personally, I mean, and I know this doesn't mean anything, I would do it. I'd have to, because it's sureness for your nurses in the ER.
Well, we've already got the system. I mean, we're sort of caught in the,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Too
But I
late
think they
now.
know that
Yeah.
Yeah.
as well.
I'd make the motion to approve it.
I'd like to second that motion if we could call for a vote at this time.
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Unhappily, yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Just can I make a comment about
Absolutely.
the tax situation?
Yes.
Do you need something from the city to say?
No,
that
we've
you're
supplied them our
exempt?
tax exemption. They just haven't responded. We're like, hey, we've paid payments, but we've taken all the taxes off
Right.
because we're tax
And it's
exempt.
still showing up.
Here's our tax exempt form, twice so far, and they're still invoices with taxes and no, hey, we'll credit your account those taxes off. I mean, nothing. I mean, I've reached out to the rep that we actually purchased the program from now. I mean, we're trying to get everybody
He doesn't know
involved
your
if we
name
can.
now?
Huh?
He doesn't know your name now?
Yeah, I
since
know,
you
right?
sold
He
it?
already bought it. He's like, I don't know this
That
guy.
guy.
This is maintenance now. We're done.
He's like, oh, that's not my department, click.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, we're trying to get all that removed.
It's annoying.
That's how they get you.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Well, we're not. We're just gonna keep sending them checks with no taxes until they take it off.
They're not charging us any penalties or anything?
No, not currently, no.
Okay, moving on to item number 20, discussion and possible action to approve MedPro professional and general liability insurance quote.
So MedPro is who we've had for, over 15 years. Because, so right around 18 probably, because when I started at Mangum, they've had MedPro, which was previously Plico. This is for our professional liability insurance for our providers in the ER. It also provides tail coverage. Our previous cost last year, as you can tell, was $59,000. Actually went up less than, a little over $1,000, which is not bad.
Yes, I was gonna say less than what I would expect.
Oh, you just get ready for our property insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they've already told us, 25% increase, and our wind and hail is gonna go up to $100,000 deductible. Yes, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. $100,000 deductible for wind and hail. Yep.
I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
If we could call for a vote at this time?
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
Moving on to item number 21, discussion and possible action to approve Ford Trust 91 Partner Cyber Insurance for policy quote for the CRC Cybersecurity Insurance Policy quote offered by Lloyd's of London.
Mhm. So in here, we added a breakdown from the IT department at the very first. Kind of doing a side-by-side comparison, and then their opinions on why they figure Ford Trust 91, or they think Ford Trust 91 is better. They wanted me to tell you this is their opinion. Anything you have to do, they just feel we're better covered if we go with the Ford Trust 91 than the CRC, CFC. They kind of use that acronym in kind of interchangeably. It is, what, $6,000, $8,000 more? $6,000 right above, but they do some stuff that CRC does not do. CRC is who we currently have, or CFC as it's listed on here. This is for the event we have a cyber attack.
What does it mean that the carrier is non-admitted in the state of Oklahoma?
Or are you on theirs or?
In the CRC group,
Uh-huh.
that page, we are pleased to confirm the attached quotation for cyber being offered with Lloyd's of London. This carrier is non-admitted in the state of Oklahoma. What does that mean?
Probably not registered with the Insurance Commission. The only thing I can think of.
I do not know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
It's in bold
Yeah.
print, so.
It also looks like the Ford Trust 91 is $5,000 higher per claim per deductible.
Mm-hmm, they are.
But what was it specifically about this?
About the Ford Trust?
Yeah, that makes it, I see, I mean, I see there's some certain things not covered,
Mhm.
but for me, I don't understand, why that's important under this specific thing as opposed to something else.
So what he's saying here is the 5 hours of cybersecurity consulting with, looks like a software from Cyber Crash Cart that is offered by Ford Trust 91, which is proactive tools to mitigate any incidents. They collaborate stronger with our IT department. Looks like higher limits in the key areas. As when I was looking at some stuff, there were some higher limits in there.
But there's also some lower limits.
There are some lower, there's some 25s instead of 50s.
25s instead of a
Mhm.
100,000 with regards to court attendance.
Yep. And then the bodily, I don't know. It's a cyber attack. I don't know how you're gonna get
Well,
bodily
that's,
in-
and that's, I
injury
guess that's
from a
what I was
cyber
trying to
attack.
understand. If it's a cyber attack, how are we gonna have
Yeah.
bodily injury?
Brand protection not included. I mean, that's just if somebody does something with Mangum Regional Medical Center brand. Property damage liability. Guess if they turn.
So
this
their
thing
big
on.
thing was that 5 hours of.
No, they just said just better coverage, the bodily injury, expanded cyber crime protection from phishing, fraud, and telecommunications.
Where am I guess I'm asking, when I'm looking at the side by side, where am I
Mhm.
seeing? Because for the most part, it's pretty consistent,
Mhm.
except there's a couple of areas where CFC is better, like the post-breach
Yeah.
remediation is better. It looks like the cyber crime coverage could be better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's at 250,000
I mean, the
to 1
brand
million.
protection, I don't know how that helps us. Bodily injury and property damage, I don't necessarily know how that helps us.
No, me neither. They don't have
But
risk
everything else
consult.
is better.
Mhm.
The only thing I see difference that would make an impact is that 5 hours annually.
Yep, and the risk, which you're only gonna get that once because it's every year. The Cyber Crash Cart, which is just tools for IT to use. And I didn't see the security premium incentives for security improvements. I guess our premium could go down if we do improvements on our infrastructure. It doesn't really spell it out on how it's gonna reduce the premiums.
Did you get the email from Chad that explained the bodily injury and probably damage?
No, I did not.
Well, that gave some Chad specific examples.
Okay, so bodily injury, hacked IV pumps or ventilators can manipulate the dosage on the settings on the IV pumps,
Oh.
disrupt ventilators, causing harm to patients. Ransomware delays emergency care. Hospital system is locked by ransomware, preventing doctors from accessing records. Well, we know that. Tampered with lab results. That's all types of bodily injury, leading to incorrect diagnosis and improper treatments. Property damage, medical equipment overloaded. Hackers infiltrate hospital networks and overload the devices such as MRIs, CT machines, and they can break down. The cyber criminal can disable the hospital's climate-controlled system. We don't have that, but they could. Control system to deregulate the temperature on medical supplies, vaccines, blood, and IT equipment. Fire from cyber attack, again, gains control of the power grid connected to medical devices, triggering electrical overload and could start a fire. That's the property damage and bodily.
Well, I was gonna say, but why would our other insurance not cover those things?
They won't cover probably by hacker, truthfully.
But if it created a situation within the property, why would it not cover that?
Don't know.
I mean, my feeling is like you, I mean, you're covering a risk
Yes.
that is higher than it has been in the past,
Yeah.
but it's not that high for us, I feel. are we really gonna be that much better off with nearly double the premium?
With what
So-
I see is just,
I will tell you, we do not, our ventilators are not on the network. Our, now they have capability to be on the network. Our IV pumps are not on the network. They do have capability to be on the network, but they are not. Our climate control is not controlled, it's by water. I mean, they can't get in there and mess with their climate. They can't mess with their fire suppression, well, no. They might be able to mess with their fire suppression system. That is one thing that they possibly could do, just by the fire alarm and different things like that, and, because that's all triggered by that.
but I would think it specifically that situation, our other insurance should cover any damage or anything done with regards to that. I feel like what we're paying the extra double for are the 5 annual hours and the cyber crash card, which to me, I think that's expensive for that. Plus, we got a higher deductible, double. I mean, the deductible on CFC is between 0 and 5,000 per claim.
Theirs is 10.
Theirs is 10,000 per claim regardless.
Yep.
And we're already paying double. I understand their recommendation, I just don't agree with it. I mean, I would, if the request isn't,
You gotta make a motion to choose one of them.
okay, my motion would be to approve CFC renewal.
I'll second that.
He's waiting on you.
Call for a vote.
Yes,
We're all
Lively,
kinda like, Carson, come on.
yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
No.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item number 23.
Mhm.
Okay, discussion possible action approve MRMC Walters Kiefer Communicate Procedures Software Proposal for an electronic database for nursing procedures.
So this is just a software platform that has all of our nursing procedures. We reference this platform with all of our policies. It's a yearly, everybody can access it from every computer if they have a question on how to put an NG tube down, listen to lung sounds. This has all of that policy, all of the procedure in there. If you have a new nurse or just a nurse that hasn't done it in a very long time. But also has medication information in there. It has got a lot of knowledge. This is a renewal for us. We did have this last year.
Do you know how often it's being utilized? Just curious.
Depends on the nurse, it depends on the staff that's working. Some nurses, of course, use it more than others. I'd say probably 2-3 times a day. I mean, when we're busy, and especially with critical, difficult patients, it gets a little different.
Is it per site or per number of,
This is per site.
per site?
Yep, this is per site.
So if we had 100 people accessing it,
It doesn't matter.
as long as they access under us, it doesn't matter.
Correct. Yep.
Is this available at the clinic as well?
Yes. Yep. It's both locations.
We sure have had a lot of money come through this place tonight, and we haven't had a lot of money come through your place. I mean, it is very scary to keep saying yes, yes, yes to these thousands and thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that's a little concerning to me. So, $2,000 for insurance, not so bad. 20, all these others, whew, scary.
Yeah.
Especially when you used to have a book, didn't you?
Yeah.
Everybody
You used to have,
And everybody
absolutely.
knew where
That's
the
what I
book was,
referenced
and
when
they
I was the
looked it up.
CNO out there. I had a book, a
Can you not
$400
Google it?
book.
Well,
It's,
With the
They still
new-
have the
with the
books,
new
and most
internet
everybody
we're
has
having?
an app, but
yep.
to be in compliance with the hospital and the facility policies, you do have to be able to say that it was available to access here and here.
By
Because
every
the app I
nurse in
have
the
on my
facility.
phone is not necessarily in compliance with their,
Approved.
you know.
And then if you're charting and you put, reference Lippincott, policies and procedures on how to do this and something bad happened, you're covered because you did something up to date. And they put out new education. Now, whether the nurses look at it, they do put it out.
That's
every
the $64
month. They
million
put something out every month to
Well,
where
at least the
you can look at it.
6140 question, 19 cents for the first year. I mean, really?
Yeah,
But I mean, our prior cost was 58.20,
yep, for the same
77.
company.
Really, we're going up $300 every year.
Yep.
I make a motion that we approve.
I'll second it.
We could call for a vote at this time.
Lively,
No.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
Moving on to item number 24, discussion and possible action to approve Denise Jackson RN as the risk manager for MRMC for 2025.
Did something happen that we put this off to this time?
No, we did all the other ones last time. This time we had to do hers. It wasn't time for hers.
Yeah, I thought it was a typo too, and I went and double checked, so.
Okay.
We did all. we
For
did the
some reason in
HIPAA.
my head, I felt
Yeah, we did
like,
3 others last month.
okay, yeah.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
If we could call for a vote, please.
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
Moving on to item number 5, discussion and possible action to enter into executive session for review and approval of medical staff privileges, credentials, and contracts as following as pursuant to 25 West subsection 307B1.
I'll make that motion to enter an executive session.
I will second that motion to executive session. If we could call for a vote at this time.
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
No.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
Okay. We are now in executive
Some
session.
people's children.
Didn't he second the motion?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Can you do that?
Wait a second. He seconded the motion.
Do we need to?
Yeah, we have to.
We have to.
That's what he told us last time. I keep getting the emails for this one, but
Well,
it's always a
I
time
go
that
whenever I can.
Yeah.
I was able to go last week, so.
I would like to make a motion that we approve the,
You got
oh, yeah, you are exactly right.
Ten.
I would like to make a motion that we do come out of executive session.
I will second that motion.
If we could call for a vote.
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
Okay. This time I'd like to make a motion that we credentialize Michelle Sturdent and Dr., I would also, under that same motion, like to say that we approve Fei Ling Yi. Yay, excuse me.
Yay. for
Yay.
yay.
If we could call for a vote, or, sorry.
I'll second.
Okay, at this time, if we could call for a vote.
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yay.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
What about the?
Okay. Open session item number 6. Oh, nope. Moving on, we didn't have any other items to discuss. Moving on to, do we have any staff and board remarks?
Actually, we did have something, so, but all IT stuff, everything's going outdated. We were told after we posted our agenda that we're gonna have to start buying some computers because they're no longer gonna support Windows 10 after October, I think it's 22nd. So we don't wanna, we have 14 computers we need to replace. And we don't wanna do it in a lump sum because it comes out to about $16,000. So we were doing it as a
How many
project, a
computers?
capital expense project. We're looking at right around 4,400. Oh, dang, cheap, that could kill me. Right around $4,400 a purchase. That's purchasing 2 laptops and 2 desktops whenever we have the funds to do that before October, to get 2 hours.
Can I just ask a question? Have we considered leasing as opposed to purchasing?
IT has not, no, sir. No, this is all purchase. They have not considered leasing. We lease our printers. We have not, we can look into that and bring it to you.
Well, and the only reason I suggest that, sometimes it comes with a, like,
Replacement.
when we have to upgrade and things like that, it's within the lease, and they would upgrade it to fit. And if they
Absolutely.
were to break down, that they're responsible to fix those. I
Mhm.
mean, yes, it's a little bit of a surcharge, but it's a lot of protection in the back end of,
I can talk to them. We use Dell. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dell does leasing.
yeah, well, I know Dell does, because the state leases through
Okay.
Dell.
Yeah, that's who all of our stuff is through. So we can absolutely ask them and bring it back.
What
We just
happens
wanted to
to
bring
the
it up.
outdated computers?
What?
What happens to the old computers?
Of course, they have to wipe the hard drives and all that fun stuff, and then.
Do you
I
sell
don't know
them or
what they do.
throw them away? Or?
Don't know what IT does with them after that.
You
I mean, I
can't
would
throw
think-
them away on my end of stuff,
No,
'cause
I
my
haven't.
gosh, they have to stay on
Yeah.
your inventory and have to account for it each year. I don't know about.
No, we don't have to.
We had phones that we couldn't even throw away, but we
Yeah.
were
I
just
know.
stocking them. The
It's
old,
gonna be more the information that's
Yeah.
in the system than
Yeah.
the system itself.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to bring that up to y'all, so y'all know. But I'll bring a lease back and we can look at that.
and like I said, it may end up in the long run be more cost effective as opposed to just outright buying
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, because
because
all these will be purchasing.
Yeah.
So I'll bring that back to y'all. We just wanted to bring that up.
Okay, is there any new business that could not be foreseen?
This isn't business, but there is a community survey out for those of you that live in Greer County.
Yep.
Okay, so it's really important for the coalition to, for as many people as can to fill that survey out. It ran through the paper on the 14th, I believe, and it may even run again this next time. And so if y'all, it'll have a QR code and you can do it that way, or there, a paper copy.
of 200 surveys. They really do. We've got it at the clinic, we've got it at the hospital. I was gonna bring one to Irma. I didn't know if Irma had one. I didn't get Irma one to post.
Have they posted on the Facebook, have it posted on
I
Facebook?
don't.
I don't know if they posted.
We did it, when they did it on J-Chat 2 years ago, they
That
did it
was
on
that way?
Facebook, and it went way up as far as the number of responses.
I'll have to ask Victoria.
Send
Oh, well, yes, her too, yeah.
I can ask her to post
But
it
maybe
on
even if
Facebook.
we put it on the
On the hospital.
hospital Facebook
Do
page.
that, 100%. Good thought there.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
If we could call for a vote.
Lively,
Yes.
Ford,
6:30, I gotta go, that was my time.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
It's been great.
So you got my mother-in-law coming out on swing bed today.
Oh, yes, yes.
We've been at Integris for the last 6 days.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That's a drive.
Yes, because we've made it every day.
Oh my gosh. That's Oklahoma City?
Yes. Misty has that route like nobody's, because she's on in 2 hours flat. And I'm
Wow.
sitting there with my eyes closed every time. You could get there in 4.5. It takes me
Nice.
about
Whose is
4.5.
that?